Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Jazz Jumpstart Show. I am so happy to be here on another episode with each and every single one of you. You all know how we do it here at the Jazz Jumpstart Show. We always like to have conversations, and I'm so happy to have an amazing conversation with a world changer who happens to be an entrepreneur and, oh, we're jazzing things up a little bit around here, a perfumer. He's a perfumer at the Elemental Fragrances. And really, what he does is so awesome because he has this rare blend of fragrances, of natural, elegant, and sensuous scents. But what this has to do with world changers, oh, you're going to find out because it has a lot to do with your confidence and your self esteem. And then guess what? It's going to make you smell so good. And y'all know how we do it over here at the Jazz Jumpstart Show. We like to jazz it up. So I'm your host, Jasmine Romaine. And if you have not hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that way you can stay tuned for even more. But right now, guess what? We're going to go and turn it to Luc. So you know how we do it over here at the Jazz Jumpstart Show. We always turn on cameras because guess what? This is how we do it over here. So I'm going to have my guests turn on their camera, and then by all means, we are going to chomp it up and jazz it up. So welcome to the Jazz Jumpstart Show, Corey. So happy, Luc, to have you on here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be.
Yes, indeed. So I am just so fascinated because over here at the Jazz Jumpstart Show, you just never know what you're going to get. But one of the things that I love about your mission moves is that you bring an amazing aroma to the atmosphere, right? And I can say that because of what it is that you do when it comes to being a perfumer. So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to get into this field.
Well, it's really funny. At first, I did not even think about being a perfumer. I wanted to make some beard oil. This side of my face was like dead. Like my beard wasn't growing. It's like I had a big piece of beard here and no hair here. So I created some beard oil, and it smelled horrible. So I was like, I need to fragrance this. So then I created a fragrance, go into beard oil, and it smelled so good. I was like, wait a minute, I want to wear this without having a greasy face. So I separated it, and I created that fragrance. And I started wearing it. And people started asking me about it. And I was like, it was really fun to do that process. So I started reading about it. I got more in depth with it. And then I created two more fragrances, and I had a party, and I made like 50 bottles, and I sold them all, and that was the catalyst. I was like, I knew that I had something on my hand, sorry, and it was just so calming, and I enjoyed doing it. It was a new art form for me, and it gave me a lot of joy, and I was able to get a lot of instant reactions from it. So it was a great art form that I kind of just fell into.
Wow. So falling into art forms, I always love adventures where you can just fall into something and you find where you're like, I just mixed something together and this concoction just turned into something absolutely amazing. Sometimes life just has those opportunities. So when you were younger, I kind of want to go back a little bit. Did you ever imagine like doing something like this, or was scent something that was always like a part of who you were, your family? What's the story?
Yeah, when I was a young man, I grew up in a town called Laura, South Carolina. Like it's a town with one stoplight, a train, and maybe 500 people. It's that. And growing up in that space, in that town, there was always smells all over the place. Like across the field from my grandfather's small farm, it was a tobacco field, and we had fig trees and pecan trees and freesia bushes. It was always smells. Like it was always something that smelled good or smelled bad, or when the wind combined them, they smelled interesting together. So I always had kind of like a really interest in things that smelled good, but it just literally, like I said, after creating the oil it just all kind of fell into place. And then, I've traveled quite a bit all over the world, and then smelling certain things in different places, it just kind of evokes things in you. It's like I learned from smelling certain smells in different places that fragrances can take you on journeys, evoke memories, take you to places, help you plan future things. There's so much that you can do with a good scent.
Oh, that's so true. Because I know I can smell some scents that perhaps my mother wore, and it'll take me back to when I was a little girl. And I'm like, I remember that scent. Mommy wore that. Or I can smell something that perhaps I wore in college, and I'm like, I remember what I was doing over there during those college days. Like, I can just have like a memory of something, and it will just bring that into fruition of whatever happened in the past. And speaking of that, that's like something that's a standout factor, right? Anytime you can bring about memories of the past. And one of the things that I love about world changers like yourself, but then also the world changers that are listening to the channel is that they want to stand out and command a presence. Share with us like what it is that perfumery does so individuals can stand out and be truly who they are, but create their own ambiance of aroma.
Okay, so about perfume, there's two kinds of perfume categories. You have your niche category, which I'm in, and then you have your, big conglomerates like the Calvin Klein and Polo and all of that stuff. Niche perfumery is something very special because those fragrances you're not going to get when you go to the counter at me. When you go, to a Bloomingdale's or something like that, you'll get good commercial fragrances. Everyone will have those. But when you buy from niche brands and you really dive into these fragrances, you will find like obscure things, or you'll find fragrances that are like so much better than you get from something that you just get out of the department store. People that create niche fragrances, we really take it as an art form. We craft the fragrances and the notes, everything that goes into the person, how we amplify it. We design with specific agendas for the fragrance in mind.
Nice, nice. So just do it for the fragrance in mind. So one of the things that I want to ask, just for world changers' sake, and this is something that I do personally. I just want to have a conversation with you, Luc, because one of the things that I do before I get on every single live stream, even during the pandemic, I put on perfume. And the reason why is because you made that saying that it brings back memories. So for me, it brings back memories of when we were back in the day hanging out with people. And then, of course, I just like to smell beautiful. But then I also like it because even when we were in person, it allowed me to command a stage. So what would fragrances help individuals do who are in a place of looking for greater confidence, or they're looking to really create their own zone? Like, what would you say they should be able to look for? What perfume they should be able to get to help them to command a stage or to even feel more confidence? Because that's what it does for me. Like, every time I wear a perfume, like even right now, I'm smelling all good over here just because I'm like, hey, it makes me feel so like the song says, I'm every woman, it's all in me. So what would you say for that world changer who's looking for like a scent or something that's going to allow them to have greater confidence and stand out?
Well, confidence coming through scents, you want something that is rich, maybe a little spicy, could be a little floral. It depends on if you're a man or woman, but something that's definitely bold. I would say for women, like here's one of my latest fragrances. It's called Rich Folks, and I specifically made this for to give people that feeling of bliss and luxury and confidence. When you're feeling luxurious, it brings out a certain amount of confidence in you. There are perfumes that you can put on, and it will put you in that mood of I am that person and I am going to accomplish this. I smell good and I'm ready to do business. And there are lots of fragrances like that. And those are the things that you want to look for. It's like, you're going to war, quote unquote. You're going to a meeting and you want to seal that deal. Let me put on a little bit of this. I'm ready. And I'm going to, accomplish my mission.
That is so awesome. Hey, I love it because I know every time I put on certain scents, I'm like, okay, this one I'm dominating. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I want to feel jazzy and a little flirty a little bit. So I have a softer scent on. But all of this, even for myself as a business person and even my world changers for you too, every single scent allows you to have a confidence factor about yourself. And there's a quote, Luc, that is known. It says, confidence is the best accessory. And so many times people think, oh, if I have, my makeup and if I have this and that, my lucky charm or what have you, that's what's going to allow that confidence to exude. But confidence comes on the inside, but that scent can bring back those memories that can really allow individuals to still shine. I just love it. And I love what it is that you're doing. Oh my gosh, so amazing.
Yes. Once you take in that first deep, inhale, and it gets all into your olfactory senses, and it's just like, I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, World Changers, hey, you had a chance to hear from Luc. Luc here is the man when it comes to designing fragrances, when it comes to trying to just getting that ambience that's going to make you feel really, really great. So, Luc, I want you to share with the World Changers inspirational nugget that's going to help them, whether it deals with sense or whether it deals with motivation, that will help them as they pursue their journey in their endeavors in the world.
I would say to that, believe. So many people dwell in hope. Hope denotes doubt. If you believe, you can accomplish. We just have to just do it. Like we hold ourselves back believing or hoping that something. But if you do believe you can do it, you can accomplish it. It's just starting. If you hope, you're not going to start. You're going to be thinking about whether you can do it or not. If you believe, you will start and you can accomplish that mission.
I love it. I love it. So you world changers, if you just believe, you can do anything. Luc, you are amazing. And I'm so grateful you shared your story, you shared about your sins, and most of all, you shared with the world changers how they can believe just as well. So go ahead, Luc, tell them where they can find you and your amazing sense that you have. Please share with the world changers.
You just go to theelementalfragrances.com and my whole line is there. We also sell candles. We have great hair oil also. And I have a line of 15 fragrances. And to me, they're all fantastic. And if there's something for everyone, and check it out.
You heard them, world changers. Check it out. So you can find more information in this description down below so you can check it out. And definitely, by all means, find out more about this amazing man. He's an entrepreneur, perfumer, but he's also a Renaissance man in the things that he does. So check him out. I thought it was absolutely awesome. And Corey, I'm so grateful that you joined the conversation here on the Jazz Jumpstart Show. It has been amazing.
Inviting me. I've been looking forward to it all month.
Oh my gosh, I am so happy. I'm so happy. And world changers. Hey, you know what? You can always listen to not even Luc, you can have even more of the Jazz Jumpstart as you continue to tune in. So share your biggest aha moment in the comments. I always like to hear what you all thought and maybe something that brought memory to you and your memory about your own fragrance. But definitely make sure to check out Luc. And for those of you, of course, who are tuning in and you're world changers, you're looking to stand out and get your message out there in a big, bold way, feel free, of course, to reach out. I love to be able to see how I can help amplify your voice so you can have a Jazz Jumpstart just as well. And by all means, hit subscribe because you already know the Jazz Jumpstart Show. We always have great topics that are going on this show and even more. So you all, just like Luke said, make sure you believe. Make sure, of course, that you keep the faith and make sure that you get out there and you be great because that's what world changers are called to be. And that's something that you are. So get out there and shine because this here is your time. So I will talk to you all soon. It has been great speaking with each and every single one of you. Drop in the comments your big aha moment and make sure you stay tuned for even more on the Jazz Jumpstart Show. And make sure you tell your friend to tell a friend to tune in even more to the show. I'll talk to you soon.